Hi guys, I'm back and I am really excited for the books I'm going to talk to you today. We're going to talk about comics, but first things first. In case you don't know me, my name is Clara and I'm the owner of the channel, the booktube channel that you are actually in. And my aim with this channel was to share my love for literature in English and in Spanish. Obviously you are in a video where I'm talking in English, but I am I have organized the channel so you are able to select the playlist you want to watch in the language you want to watch it. So just if you're new and you like this review, you can give it a like and even you can subscribe. So if you do that, if you subscribe, don't forget to click the little bell so YouTube knows that he or it has to notificate you when I upload any video. So as I was saying before, I have two excited books to talk about today, and I want to apologize because last week we didn't have a video, which was this one, but that was the case because I was very busy and I was busy with other stuff, so I couldn't actually post or film anything at all. However, I want to notify you as well that for a while I'm not going to be so present in social media or the channel, but don't fear, I will post all the videos ahead of time, so you will not notice that I am not actually working on the channel. Why I need to do a step back? I need to relax, and I need to read more, and I need to try to see how next year is going to work in terms of workload, and also my aim with the channel if I want to change some stuff. So I need to take some time off, but as I said, you are not going to notice that because I'm going to keep you posted and you are going to have your videos as every week. Well, maybe not as last week, but you will have your videos, I promise. So having said that, let's talk about the books, shall we? So, starting with the reviews, I have to show you the first one, which is a Spanish graphic novel called Mary Shelley, La muerte del monstruo. It would be something like Mary Shelley, The Death of the Monster. It's a graphic novel about the life of Mary Shelley, who is the author of Frankenstein. I picked this in a book fair, in the biggest book fair of my country, and I adore it. I have Frankenstein in my bookshelf, in my TBR pile. I think you can see it from behind me, but I haven't read it yet, so I wanted to read something related to the author and the context in which the well-known novel was created. So I saw this in a stall and I couldn't help myself from picking it up. I love how gothic and how delicate this graphic novel is. I'm going to try and show it to you at the moment. So, for instance, you have this kind of, red kind of pale colors, and the red is a constant in the whole story, but also is the blue and the black. So I found myself very moved by the delicate drawings, but they were also quite scary sometimes. So it was a fragile balance that I think was done very well. As I said before, this is a graphic novel based on the life of Mary Shelley, and in the way it is told, because I know this is in Spanish, so probably you will need to learn Spanish or to know a little bit of Spanish to enjoy it. I don't consider the vocabulary very difficult. I feel like for a intermediate, low level going to intermediate, it will be alright. But I will keep you on the plot. Through this graphic novel, we recall certain events in Mary Shelley's life that shape her and the novel itself. And I found that the way of telling the story was both unique and confusing, and I will tell you now why. This is done in flash forwards and flashbacks. So to me, as a new person who has discovered Mary Shelley very, very recently, it was a little bit confusing at the beginning, but at the end of the story, the creators of this graphic novel have done like a list of events and also explain to you a little bit more of the context. Like in picture number 8, you could see a representation of Mary Shelley meeting Percy Bishop Shelley, for example. So you actually have a little bit more context in the background in the end, at the end of the story. However, I found that even though it was confusing at first, I found a very intriguing way of telling the story, because in that sense you don't have the whole plot delivered and in a pristine way to you. You are the one that has to put all the pieces together and try to understand the seek of the author, which was really, really interesting, knowing all the tragic events that she had to face. I love as well how the monster that appears in Frankenstein, the monster she creates, appears also in the graphic novel in a sense of more like lyrical figure to accompany us throughout the journey. And I love that because, as I said, I want to read the novel, but I haven't read Frankenstein yet. So having the first representation of the monster itself, that is not the representation done in several movies. I haven't seen any Frankenstein adaptation at all. So to me, having this kind of delicate big monster trying to protect Mary Shelley from any harm was a beautiful metaphor of how, in my opinion, how the book itself protects her. The second book I want to talk to you today may be found in English as well. It's the Doctor Who comics. In this case, they are a set of stories from the 10th Doctor Adventures. I bring it to you in Spanish because I'm thrilled that at last I have something related to Doctor Who that is published or released in my country, in my language. Why I tell you this? Because I know that Doctor Who was released in Spanish when it was first broadcast, like the modern version of it, but I wasn't a fan back then in 2005, and I just became a fan 3 years ago, so I cannot find the show anywhere, specifically the beginning of the show. So right now, having only 2 series in DVD form of Doctor Who, the first one and the second one, anything related to Doctor Who fan based or franchise itself, and anything related to the 10th Doctor in particular, who is still my Doctor because I haven't finished his series yet, he's part of the series yet. I am very, very moved every time I see something related to him or to the show. So when I discovered during the book fair that I mentioned before that there were actually comics about it, now one comic, which is this one, about it and about the adventures of the Doctor, of this Doctor, of my Doctor, in Spanish, I was thrilled and I bought it instantly. Actually, it was the last one in the store, and I have to say that I like it. I like how the tone was maintained, that you could actually listen to David Tennant's voice saying what the Doctor was supposed to be saying. The style is a little bit like this, and I love it. And this tells the story, as I said, of the Doctor, an alien from outer space who has the ability, thanks to his kind of spaceship, the TARDIS, travel back in time, well, in time and space actually. So at the beginning of this comic, he lands on today's New York and he meets a Mexican girl named Gabriela who lives with her family in New York, and she's not in a very nice psychological place at the beginning of the story, but he helps her out, and also he offers the opportunity to be his companion. So Gabriela becomes the new companion in this series. This volume holds or contains 3 little stories. As I said before, I loved how the dialogue was controlled here. I love the drawings, I love everything related to the style and the colors, it's brilliant. But I feel like, to me, I would have loved to see a more fleshed out story. I'm going to try to explain myself. I love this story, I truly did, but I thought the adventures were too short, that maybe with a little bit more of length, even though if you don't want to give me like 2 stories or 3 stories, just give me one. Give me a big chunky story where I can meet the new companion very well, that you can actually see how she bonds with the Doctor more. And I would have loved any other reference to other companions from the show, for example. But other than that, I really like it, and it's really nice to have new Doctor Who adventures in different formats, and I hope they reach more people, because I even have friends that actually watch the show, so it's a pity actually. Well, this is it. This is my combined review of comics, and I hope you really enjoy it. As I said before, I'm going to continue filming stuff for the month of August, so you will have your videos weekly, and we will see each other very soon. Okay? Goodbye!